Okay, so this is sXeblues, and this is my first attempt at doing what is basically kind of like a podcast, where it's strictly my voice using Windows Movie Maker. And so I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about, frankly. I just figured I'd try this out because since when I make videos on my cell phone, I can only basically get up to 3 minutes, give or take 20 seconds, because the downloading, or rather uploading, becomes problematic at that point. I thought I'd give a little try to doing a podcast where I just record my voice talking about something, and unfortunately I don't have a microphone. I'm using headphones wrapped around my face, and I look like, some kind of audio-themed Batman villain while I'm recording this. But so let me see, what can I ruminate on? What I thought I'd talk about a little bit that I find interesting is something with YouTube when people do reviews and the camera is trained on them and they talk to the camera. I think it's interesting. This is something I've thought about because I sometimes go back and watch the videos I've uploaded, and yes, I admit that I watch them. I'm not vain in any sense of the word. I am actually kind of critical of the videos I've made, and I go back and I watch them, and I try to get in the mindset of the person watching it, and sometimes it's very easy for me to do because after I've recorded them, it's unscripted when I record it. And so basically what I've said I easily forget. I read a thing with Stephen King where he will sometimes go back and read his works, and once he's done, once that creative process is done and the editing and everything like that, it's not that long before he'll go back and he'll read it, and it'll be like a new experience for him. He will no longer be in the mindset of creating it himself, and so it's almost like, as he put it, and I paraphrase, I don't have the exact quote on hand, but he said it almost becomes like reading someone else's work. So for me to watch my videos, that's kind of what I get when I go back and I watch them. I kind of feel like I'm watching someone else's videos. I know it's me, but I am no longer in the mindset of what I've said and what I've recorded, and so it's easy for me to get in that mindset about, this is someone else's opinion, what are they talking about, let's see if it's interesting, that kind of thing. And so when I've gone back and I've watched them, and I think this is interesting, I may not remember what I've said specifically, or things like that, but I recall little things like, oh, I had to stand over in this corner because the light was better, or oh, that's the day I went out to the store and I had just gotten home, and or if it's one of my videos where I'm sitting in my car, oh, I was in the parking lot of this store that day, or I was at a food bank that day, that type of thing. And all these little realizations that a casual viewer wouldn't have any knowledge of or aspect of to even encroach upon their mind. The focus that they would have being what you're saying in the moment, what the topic is of what you're saying in the moment. And I think about all the videos that on channels I'm subscribed to and that I watch, and people doing commentaries, people doing reviews, people just being goofy, whatever it is. And I think it's a very interesting window the computer becomes and the camera becomes, but it's definitely like a tunnel vision. And I find it fascinating to think about what else is going on in the background, what the person is really thinking in the moment. Like, there are times when I'm recording a video and I'm thinking, wow, this phone is really getting heavy in my hand. I better wrap it up soon, you know, and or my arm is starting to hurt, whatever it is. And you don't see that. You don't see any indication of that. For all intents and purposes, I'm just talking about whatever I'm talking about. The words issuing from my mouth are all you focus on. And so I find myself wondering when I watch other people's videos, you know, if they look to the left or they look to the right. Is there a TV there? Are they looking at their computer screen? You know, are they, while they're talking to the camera, thinking about the next day's shopping list and things like that? You know, it's just, I find it fascinating that we have a limited view, and I don't think really there should be more than that. You know, because I definitely don't think people's privacy should be encroached upon, but I just find it really interesting that, you know, we have this way, this portal through which to put our, you know, our likenesses out there and our thoughts and opinions out there. And for some who do daily vlogs, you know, they try to put a little more of their life out there. For people who do reviews, they just want to talk about whether they either like or don't like a movie or a song or a band or, you know, a comic book or whatever. And there's still so much you don't see, you know. This kind of goes back a little bit to the Who Bullies the Bully video I made, where I said, you know, on 40 seconds you really don't know the whole story. And if that video was, say, a you know, camera footage that was caught of O.J. Simpson killing his wife and her lover, you know, that would be pretty incriminating. And I don't think you'd need any further story when it's two kids in a, you know, in a fight, whether it's a bully situation or not. That to me is so far less extreme than if you catch a murder on video, that you should be able to pass judgment on it. Or rather, you shouldn't be able to pass judgment on it as easily as, say, catching a murder on tape, or on digital download or upload or whatever, recording, whatever you want to say. But I think you get my point. When you have this medium where you can just talk and, you know, record yourself on video, whatever it is, I think it's really interesting that, you know, there's so much you do see and so much you can hear and so much you can communicate, and yet there is so much more. There's a whole entire world. You're seeing one little pinprick through the portal of a much larger world, you know. And it just fascinates me to contemplate that when someone is sitting at their computer and you see a little of the room behind them, you wonder what, you know, what kind of place they live in, what's collectibles and stuff do they own, and, you know, what is their life like, and you know, all types of information you wouldn't immediately get unless you really knew that person. And usually, at least I find in my case, you know, doing recordings and stuff like that is kind of an outlet, kind of a private thing, you know. I notice in things that I've watched, people choose to do it away from their loved ones and things like that, and just, whether for embarrassment reasons or just to be able to think clearly. And so it's very interesting to me to contemplate that. And I don't know, I guess that's pretty much it. So this was sXeblues signing off. Peace.